Well, welcome back to the channel. Today Lily and I are out and about snowshoeing and looking for some chaga in a tree. So we'll get a little bit more in depth on what chaga is, but she's been holed up in the cabin for a few days, and so she's enjoying a little bit of run time in this snow, and so we're gonna get back to it. We're out on the section of the property we haven't walked yet in a while, at least not in the snow, so let's get on with it. She's intrigued because of the snowshoe hares that have been running through here. They're living under these stumps and she can smell them. Come on, Lily. So what we're doing is we're looking at the birch trees. Chaga grows in the birch trees. That's the only tree you want to harvest it from. Come on. It's the only tree you want to harvest it from. It's got great medicinal uses, a lot of anti-cancer fighting agents. You only want to get it from live birch trees. It's kind of a fungus type growth that grows on the birch tree. It will kill the tree. The tree will die eventually, and I see some up there. I don't know if I can reach it. So while we're out here, let's do a little talk about the birch tree. The birch tree is the tree that's the bark is like paper thin, peels off. These are a little bit older trees, so the bark's a little bit heavier or thicker. This is great fire starting material. Birch bark has like a natural oil in it, and so when you pull it off the tree like that, you can crumble it up. It's almost like paper, and it'll start a fire right now. So if you're ever out in the woods and you're around birch trees and you need a fire, that's one of the things to use for your tinder to start. The other thing you can do with the birch trees is similar to a maple tree, is you can tap them and get birch water out of them. You can actually make birch syrup out of them. I'm gonna be doing that. We're making some tapping, getting some birch water here very soon. I need some days where the temperature gets up above freezing during the daytime, so the sap starts flowing. Then you tap the south side of the tree. So we'll do that. I've got all the spiles and everything ready to go, just waiting for some warmer days so the birch starts flowing, the sap starts flowing. I mean, you gotta love this day. What could you ask for more? Snowshoeing out, looking for little chaga trees, enjoying the sunshine. Alaska is just phenomenal. So much to do both summer and winter. And St. Bernard doing St. Bernard things. She does have a barrel for under her neck for carrying brandy. I just don't have it on her. She looks quite humorous with it on. I just wanted to provide you a look at the chaga that I got a little bit earlier when we went out on the hike through the snow. Just a couple little pieces. It's all I need for me up here at the cabin. We got a bigger chunk earlier that's going back. But they say you need to let it dry for about 6 weeks, which I did some earlier in the year. And we make a double tincture out of it, and we also make tea. And what I do is I'll break this down into about half this and maybe 3 chunks out of this. Get some hot water and steep it for a while and then drink the tea. It's pretty gosh darn good, I think. The tincture, we'll go over that a little bit. I'll show you a bottle of that here in a little bit that we make and how we make that. So there's chaga. Okay, we're going to continue with the chaga. The chaga that you saw me pick out in the snow that day is now dry. As you can see, I've got 3 little chunks here, which is more than enough that I need. What we do with it to make tea is I have some water that's steeped here. It's not quite boiling. We don't want it to boil. Put a chunk in there and just let it steep. And it'll steep. I'll let it steep for 20-30 minutes or so, and we'll get back to it once it's steeped. I'll show you what that looks like. But in the meantime, I want to talk about this. This is a tincture, chaga tincture that my lovely wife makes. We'll open it up and you can see what it looks like. You can see it's pretty dark. But this is nothing more than to make the tincture. We did what's called a double extract of the chaga. We take the chaga and we knock it into smaller pieces, a little bit smaller than this, and we put it in 100 proof vodka and let it soak for about 6 weeks. The alcohol then extracts certain nutrients out of the chaga that are not extracted by the water. Again, some of the anti-cancer fighting agents. And then once that's done at 6 weeks, we take the chaga out, strain it all out, and then we put it into a pot of water and let it steep again overnight and get the water soluble remnants of the nutrients out of the chaga. And then we mix the two together, making sure that we keep our alcohol content high enough still in the tincture and the double extract so it doesn't ferment or lose any of its properties, go bad. So that's what we have. I'll have 2 papers linked down below in the description that'll explain a little bit more about the chaga and what its health benefits are and whatnot there. So feel free to go to the stuff below in the description and read about it. In the meantime, while this is steeping over here, we will get back to you as soon as it's done and I can show you what it looks like once it's done. So it's been about 20 minutes. As you can see, I've got a nice colored tea in here that I'll drink. And what you do is you just take the chunk that we used, which is right here, set it out and let it dry again. Once it's dry, you can reuse it. You can do it about 3-4 times over just for the tea. But the tea tastes wonderful. I like a lot of times to just add a little bit of honey to it, but this is it. It's got kind of like a real weak coffee flavor, kind of between a coffee and a black tea flavor. It's just a nice warm drink that's healthy. So if you're interested, again, read this stuff in the bottom below about the chaga. We get it here on the property. My wife makes the tincture, which I add a dropful to my coffee in the morning. You can also do it under your tongue in the morning if you wish, but that also helps with your digestion and all the anti-cancer fighting agents. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this short video. God bless, hugs, and I'll see you on the next one.